Hey guys, thanks for joining me here at Canadian Cutting Edge. Today we're going to take a look at the Warrior X by Olight. Now Olight is expanding into Canada, or they're working on to more expansions into Canada, and so they asked me to review this. There's a couple of things about this flashlight that I think are totally awesome. And then there's some other things about this light that are just plain cool. And are there any cons? Well, you're just going to have to watch and see. 2,000 lumens with one 18640 battery. Why did I get the numbers mixed up on what the batteries are called? 18630, isn't it? So one of those batteries pushes out 2,000 lumens. This thing is a long throw light. You can get a Piccatelli adapter to mount this thing on your gun. It's a long, narrow throw for the center of the beam, or 300 lumens if you want your battery to last longer. That's still a lot of light. It throws a long distance. And it doesn't have a lot of complicated stuff on there. You do this to go through mode this and do this and that and dance a little jig, and then you might be able to get to the strobe. No. This thing has got two main modes, and each mode has two options. So you pick the main mode that you want, and you've got option 1, which is a small press, and option 2 is a big press, and you're done. So stick around for the review coming at you right now. It comes in a very well laid out box. That's easy enough to get. You also get a nice sheath system. It's got a hole through it, so the light goes in, and you can either put it in this way, so the handle sticks partly out like that. You can get some light out at the end of it if you want to. And if you don't want anything to stick out that end, you can put it this way and have it this way if you want. And you've got the switch that you can control. There's the light. Horizontal loops for the belt. So if you want the light always on and you want it on your belt, usually you probably don't want it on something that has a narrow beam like this, but if you got a light this size that's got a wide beam, wow, loads of options here. So this is a really well done Cordura sheath. Let me turn this light back off. And it's the formed type, so it's nice and firm. Decent Velcro. I like snaps better than Velcro, but this is not bad. And it's got a little elastic spring thing here for a replacement battery. And what ships with this flashlight is this battery, 3,000 milliamp hours, 18650, high drain. Yeah, there you go. High current discharge. High discharge is what you want. When you're pushing out 2,000 lumens, you need high current. And so this is the flashlight battery that you get with it, 10.8 watt hours. Good battery. I even buy Olight batteries just on their own to use in my other flashlights, just because I know Olight batteries are awesome. Before we get to the light itself, they send you a little cable with it, just a USB charging cable. That's magnetic. It just clickety-click, charge it up, and you're done. So that's very good. This is a universal, so any Olight that's got the magnetic clip charging, this will work with. You get a pocket clip with it, and you get a secondary ring. So you can use it with either one of these rings, or you can use it without any ring. So here's this is the business end. You get all the light out of here. By the way, this is not aluminum, it's stainless steel, good and strong, very, very nice. If you need to persuade somebody to do something, that business end is very good. Really nice deep fins in here. This is the latest in the Warrior series, and it's got the best heat dissipation, I think, of them all so far. Handle's very comfortable. These crenellations, the theme kind of gets repeated here and back here on the tail cap as well. They're not just uniform. They start flush and they climb up. Really, really nice. So the cap comes off, and that's the switch and everything in here, and the magnetic ring. No, it's not a strong enough magnet to hold the flashlight horizontal. It can hold the flashlight if you hang it, but if there's any vibration, it might fall off. So it's not intended as a magnet to hold the flashlight onto something. The magnet is for either the charging and something else I'm going to tell you about in just a second. I take that battery out because we're not advertising that brand. So the clip here can fit on here, but you'd have to take this sleeve off. So you've got a sleeve here that's got like a TPA rubbery kind of finish, an aluminum ring on the inside, and it just slides down and fits all the way over snug right up to, you know, the fins here on the handle. And that's how it's intended to be used. If you want to use the snap ring, there's one specific spot it goes in, and you'll find it with the snap ring installed, so you'll know exactly where that spot is when you get yours. And then you put this ring on top of that yet, and it also has a specific spot. There's a notch right there. Let's see if I can get the light in there to show it. There's a notch right there, and that notch goes right over that spot on the clip. So let's put that down. So that slides all the way down. That way you can put the cap back on. If it doesn't slide easily all the way down, you've got something in the wrong position. So let's put this battery in here. Positive side up, because that's the way Olight likes to do things. You screw that on, and now it's all set. The clip is actually quite strong now because it's locked in by this ring here, which is locked in by the tail cap. But it's kind of odd to get to because whatever fabric you're going to hook it onto has got to come down up here and then underneath it on. So I don't think a lot of people are going to use this clip, but if you do use it, it is a good, strong clip. So your choices are, you know, either this ring or this setup right here. And you've got nice O-rings here. You've got lubricated threads. They put some kind of probably lithium grease on there. And you've got waterproof to 2 meters. And I think it's for a couple hours. So that's the height of you. It's got drop protection rating up to 2 meters. There's a sale going on today for this, and only today, March 22nd. So I don't have time to record the drop test. There's other reviewers that did that. But I did do the outdoor test. So before we get on to the next stuff, watch this outdoor footage. Okay, it's about 2 a.m. on March 21st. We've got a full moon out there. Clear skies, so it's spilling a lot of light, and yet you can see how much more light this thing offers. This is the 300 lumens. This spills a lot more light out, and the camera's going to adjust right away, but check out this flash when it goes to 2000 lumens. You see that? You saw that adjustment when it went to 2000 lumens? That's quite a lot brighter. In a very strong spot. It just washes it right out. Well, as you can clearly see, there's some lights around, but in the far distance, smack dab in the middle, where you see those 3 little dots, that's about 450 to 470 yards away. Well, 300 lumens doesn't add an awful lot. You can see it on the street. You can see it on those trees. Those trees are about 90 yards away, 90 meters. A little bit on the left right here, but that building there, let's go to 2000 lumens, and look at it, just lights up the whole side of the building. I don't want to annoy people too much, but as you can tell, this thing is very, very bright indeed. We've got these trees here. That's about 45 to 50 yards away, right in the center of the light beam right there. Just offers an awful lot of light. It took me a week to get that footage because I was just waiting for a cloudy night because, you know, the full moon was getting closer and closer, and I thought that would be too much light and everything in town. So finally, on the full moon, I record it. But this light just blew the moon away. Awesome, awesome light. So how does the switch work? Well, I showed you a little bit in that video how easy it is. There's this button here, and it's just a tiny press in, puts it into, you know, the 300 lumen mode, but a deep press puts you to 2000 lumens. And then you just do another press to turn it off. So small press gets you to 300, big press gets you to 2000, but you don't have to go in that order. You can do small press and then small press off. Or you can go straight to big press and then big press off. It's that easy. The other option is easy enough to do. And you change it to go to the other mode very simply. You hold this button in, you undo it about half turn, and you put half turn back, and now it's strobe mode. Or 300 lumens momentary on. So 300 lumens or deep press strobe mode, and that's the other tactical mode, very, very simply. The add-ons for this is you got the Picatinny rail system for this, so you can mount it onto your gun, but you don't want to reach forward all the time to turn the switch on and off. Well, there's a pressure switch. It looks very unlike this, but it's a pressure switch that has a magnetic end that goes on there, and then a wire, and then this end you can put right near your trigger. So if you got it on a rifle, and then you just have that pressure switch to press, and that does all the work on this end and changes it. You can see other reviewers doing that. I didn't get those parts. This thing is simply awesome. It feels really good in the hand. It's not a heavy light. It's about the same as any light that's this size. You know, they're all within a few grams, a few, tenths of an ounce of each other. Very, very comfortable. It never got too hot in my hands here, that I thought was crazy hot. But yes, it does get hot up here. And it's just very comfortable. The switch is the genius of this thing. At first, I wasn't sure how to use it, and I was having a couple of problems with it. And so I usually don't watch other reviewers, but I finally watched some other reviewers, and oh yeah, I was doing it wrong. And I didn't take the time to read the manual either. The manual's so clear. Duh. But that's the way I do things sometimes. I just jump into things and get started, just like a lot of guys. So this is part of the Warrior X series. This is the newest one, and I think it's a very awesome light. Who is this light for? Anybody who wants this medium-sized hand flashlight that wants high lumens, and you want simple procedures to operate the thing. If you want simple operation, and you want high lumens, and you want long throw, that's an awful lot of people who want that. If you want, a floodlight, Olight's got other lights. They got so many lights. They got something that you want, indeed. But this isn't a floodlight. And I found when I was, taking the dog for a walk and stuff, I'm not a hunter, so I don't have a gun. But I was using, the 300 lumen mode, and that's all I needed. And that could throw many, many yards. You saw the nighttime footage. So Olight, awesome, coming to Canada, but they've got a sale in the United States right now on the 22nd of March. 30% off if you want this kit, 40% off if you also want the Picatinny rail adapter and the pressure switch. So links are down below for all that stuff. Thanks for watching my video. Thanks for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing, and for all the stuff you do for me. And a big thank you to my Patreon supporters. If you want to support this channel, patreon.com/CCE. Remember, have a good one. Whatever you find to do, do your best. Woohoo!